Hello guys, I'm Ujjwal and welcome to my YouTube channel where we make all things creative. If you're new here, you may want to subscribe. I make creative videos, scrapbooking videos, card making videos, and all kinds of paper crafts. So if you're interested in these items, I hope you will subscribe and enjoy the content on my channel. So today's video is about making an MDF album. This is an MDF base that I had lying around for a couple of years now, and I thought I'd finally show it some love and convert it into this beautiful album. It's a very easy, sweet, short album and also makes for a great gift for the upcoming Valentine's Day, so you might want to give this a try. And as always, all the supplies that I've used in the making of this album are in the description box below, along with the links, so you can go and check them out if you want to. And yeah, so let's start this video without any further ado. Let's go. So I'm starting with this pre-cut MDF shape that has this word love on it, and it measures approximately 9 inches by 4 inches in height. And today I'm going to use this beautiful paper pack from Dress My Craft called Eternal Love. It has some really nice peaches and very subtle patterns and colors. So I'm going to use a few of these papers to cover the entire album and then decorate it. So I took out some of the papers that I liked and I thought would be good in contrast. And now we are going to start adding these papers to one side of our alphabets. So I will be adding the front side that we can see right now. I will be covering that side first of all the alphabets in different colored pattern papers. So all you have to do is just apply some glue. Make sure you're using a good quality strong glue when you are adding to MDF. And yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and quickly add these pattern papers to all the 5. I have 5 of these MDF slides, so I'm going to add on all 5 of these. Once the adhesive has dried, it's time to trim them out. So I'm using a paper cutter here, which makes it really useful. I also have a cutting mat underneath that protects the work surface really well. So I'm going to link all these supplies in the description box below so you can check it out. But now all I'm doing is just going across the edges of these MDF pieces with my paper cutter and then just cutting them out, trimming them out of the pattern papers like so. Once I trimmed out all the pieces, this is how all of them look together. I still have to cover the back side, but before I do that, I'm going to use my crocodile and punch out the holes here. So this particular MDF base came with already punched out holes, so I have to do this step here twice so that I know where exactly the holes are once I've covered both the sides. But in case you have an MDF base that does not have pre-punched holes, you can continue to cover your both the sides first with pattern paper and then punch out holes at a later time. Next I wanted to add some distressing to the edges. This will make our edges more neater, and will also add that little shabby chic kind of a look to the whole album, because the colors are so pastel and so kind of dreamy. So this will just add to the look. And you also get like proper specific tool for this that is available in craft stores, but I just like to use my the pair of scissors that I have, and I just hold it at an angle like straight, and then just slide it across the edges to get that distressed look. It's actually really fun to add, and it will always enhance the look of whatever project you are making. So after I finished distressing the whole lot, then I added the pattern paper on the back side as well, and then I repeated the same process. I used my paper cutter to trim out the excess pattern paper, and then I also punched the holes again from the back side, and I also added the distressing using the pair of scissors. So basically I repeated all the steps for the back side as well. To add more dimension and depth, I'm going to ink the edges a little bit, and I'm using this distress ink called Vintage Photo and an ink blender, and I'm just going to lightly rub off some ink or add some ink along the edges, and you will see immediately that it will really enhance the look of the papers, and it will make them stand out even more. So that's what I did, and then I'm using these scrapbook rings to just put everything together, and that's it. That's all. Our base is ready, and now we will proceed on our interactive elements and photo mats for this album. So I'm going to start from the back. The last MDF piece is the biggest that I have in this album, so I want to make the most use of it, and I'm going to add a little waterfall element there so that I can have more photographs. So these photo mats measure 2.25 inch by 3.25 inch. So yeah, that is the place where I can add maximum photos, so I'm going to utilize it, and I'm just trimming out 6 pieces, 2.25 by 3.25 inches, and then we are going to just add them in a waterfall here. I'm going to soon share a separate video covering how to make waterfall elements or cards for scrapbooks and cards, and yeah, so watch out for the new videos coming really soon, where I'll talk in detail about measurements and how to add waterfall elements to your scrapbooks and projects. So I'm going to let this waterfall element dry completely before adding to the album. Meanwhile, we're going to prepare our element for the next page. Now for the other side, I just wanted to add another interactive element, so I'm trimming this down to about 8 inches by 6 inches piece, and then I'm going to score it in the center from both the sides so that I have 4 equal sections of this paper. This trimmer cum scoring tool is really cool from Dress My Crafts, so I don't have to pull out separate tools all the time. And yeah, so as you can see, I have 4 sections, and I'm going to just cut a slit here till the center from one of the ends and then fold it so that I'll get these this fun interactive element that has like 7 spaces to add more photographs. And to keep this together, I'm going to use some satin ribbon, satin twine in peach color to just add it over there. I'm going to just add the waterfall element here as well, and then I'm using some paper clips to just keep everything in place till it dries. Because I'm using liquid adhesive, it can move around a little bit if you're not careful, so I'm going to just use these paper clips to keep them in place. Now for this page, the next page, we are going to add a small pocket here, and then we can add more tags inside so that we have more space to add more photos and messages, etc. So this is going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to take out this section here and then add a little pocket like so, and I'm also going to punch out a little semicircle in the center using the scallop punch from Dress My Craft. This is 1.5 inch punch, and it'll just add a nice little detail to this pocket here, and that's it. And then we can add some tags inside. Now for the other side, I found this little piece of pattern paper that was left over from the other elements that I added, and I thought I could just fuzzy cut this part out and add a cute little different element on the side. This side also has that word love on the pattern paper, which I did not want to hide by adding more content on it. So I'm just going to add this little flap here. I just fuzzy cut out and add a flap so that I can probably use it to write a message or add a small photograph. So now I'm going to make a little section by scoring it at 4 inches here so that it is the same height as the album, and then this will stay here, and also our love, the word love, will be visible underneath. So moving on to the next 2 pages, I'm going to use a bunch of die cuts here. So this is the window and frame die that I've just cut out a few pieces from, and then this is the couple tag die. This is newly released for the Valentine's Day, and then I have this very cute mini envelope die, and I just wanted to show you how cute this envelope looks like. Super duper adorable, and then yeah, and so easy to make. You just have to run it through your die cutting machine once and you get this cute envelope. Then I have this, again, another tag die which I'm going to use as a frame for a small photograph that we can put inside, and then we are going to embellish around it. So I'm just going to let that little tiny envelope dry and add this tag using a bit of dimensions. I'm just using some pieces of chipboards here to add a little bit of dimension to this frame, so it looks like it gives that 3D effect to the frame, and then we are going to embellish it later. And for this side, the frames that I've cut out here, the windows that I've cut out, I'm going to add a backing of pattern paper to each of this, so it looks like again photo frames, and you can add a small photo there if you are giving it to someone. I think it's really fun and a really great detail to add to this album. So I'm going to just add a pattern paper backing to all of these little frames. There are two sizes of frames in this particular die, so I'm going to just like mix and match these two sizes and create like a fun interactive element here as well. While the frames are drying, I'm going to work on this little tag. I want to convert it into a little shaker element, so I'm using glossy accents and I'm going to attach it to a transparency sheet or an acetate sheet or an OHP sheet, whatever you call it, and then I'm going to just let it dry really well. Glossy accents is a really strong glue and it sticks really well with the acetate. That's why I'm using that. And while the tag dries, I'm going to just trim off all of this excess pattern paper from our frames. And now I wanted to create a little backing for our shaker, so I'm just roughly drawing a circle here, just roughly cutting out a piece of paper. This is the iris paper, and I'm only going to cut it out and then fill our shaker with some sparkling dust. I love this product so much. It's such a lovely addition to anything and everything. It sparkles like crazy, especially when there is like during the night time. If you just switch on the lights, it sparkles like crazy and it looks so stunning. So I'm just kind of obsessed with this little thing, and I add it to almost every project these days. So I added glossy accents again around the circle, and now I'm going to again let it dry really well before I trim out the axes from the back here. So this way I have a bunch of fun frames here, and I'm going to use a brad to put them all together and attach them to our page here. So I'm alternating between the small and big frame, and I have the brad here, and to add a hole there for the brad, I'm using this perforating mat from Dress My Craft, and their tweezers the tweezers are really sharp, so they punch a hole really well. I just poked a hole there, and don't worry about the back side, we are going to cover it when we embellish, but this is how it's looking, and I love this interactive element so much. It looks so nice and so cool. Right, so now we're almost done, because the first two parts of this album, the L and the O, are tiny, really tiny, so we can't add much to those. I'm just going to embellish those later on, but I'm going to add a few more details like this tag punch, rounded tag shapes, and then I'm adding a piece of this net lace, which is really pretty and add to that whole shabby chic vibe of this beautiful album. And I'll just show you what all I use, and these are the star filled glass balls, and they are so cute, so I'm going to just hang one there. And I also have this beautiful suede tassel in a muddy brown color, and it looks really nice together with this color palette. So I'm going to just use some satin twine and add it to the lace bow that I've added earlier here, and it adds such a nice interactive, again it's an interactive element, because all the sequins in that little tiny glass balls move around and they look really nice. I also made some flowers using this 5-petal pointed flower die, and I have the video of how I made this, a short video, on my Instagram account, so I'm going to link it somewhere here on the screen and add it to the description box below as well, so you can check it out in case you're interested in finding out how I made those flowers. And of course I have more die cuts like this one from the Leaves and Foliage collection of Dress My Craft. This is number 9, Leaves and Foliage. And then of course I have the coordinating motif sheet from Eternal Love that I've cut it out, and I'm going to use all these elements to embellish the entire album and show you how it turns out in a little while. And here it is. Here is the final album. I've added all these cute elements, and I absolutely love how it turned out. It's a small album, but it has a lot of creative elements, a lot of fun interactive elements, and I have tried to maximize whatever little space there was to make it fun and more useful. So you can at least add 15-20 photographs in it, add some messages, and I think it will be such a great gift for upcoming Valentine's Day. And I just wanted to show you, I covered the brad there with a little sentiment and a motif, and it looks, you can add like a small photograph over there and write a message. And then I've added some twine to these beautiful tags as well. So again, add more photos or just use them to write messages, whatever works for you. And yeah, you can see how nice this looks, and it came together beautifully. This is the interactive element that we added, so you can add so many more photographs here, and it would be again such a fun, it's a fun creative element to add to maximize space basically. And then this is our little waterfall that we added. And yeah, that's it. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this process video as much as I did making it, and I will see you soon again next time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and I hope and I will make the best of my efforts to make sure that you love the content here. Alright, bye bye, stay safe and take care.